Today we're going to talk about using LinkedIn to effectively grow your business. Why LinkedIn? It's because LinkedIn is different. It is the world's largest professional network. So with 332 million LinkedIn users, that is 1 in every 3 professional on the planet. LinkedIn is really a source that you need to add into your business development and marketing agenda. Now, those people are going to be your prospects, your colleagues, your customers. The most important thing is that they have all come to LinkedIn in order to make connections to either build, grow, or make their business more efficient. LinkedIn drives more traffic to business-to-business blogs and websites than any other social network. So 90% of all the social traffic is driven by the big 3 networks, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. 50% of that comes from LinkedIn. But LinkedIn's not just about driving traffic. We want to look at our bottom line, too. And 77% of business-to-business marketers have acquired a customer through LinkedIn. That's a trend that's only continuing to grow. Right here you see that between 2010 and 2013, the percentage of companies that have acquired a customer have increased by 1.5 times. Now, LinkedIn is continuing to innovate and offer more opportunities for marketers and for business-to-business companies, so that's only going to continue. And that brings us to you and your profile, because people are coming to LinkedIn to connect with people. So your profile is the center point of that. It helps show people who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. Optimizing your profile is what we're going to focus on first. There's 5 main parts: profile image, your headline, your summary, your experience, and then how you can customize it. But having an image is really, really important. In fact, profiles that have an image get 14 times more views than those that don't. People want to do business with people, not just nameless, faceless resumes. Trust is really important, and it's the center point of LinkedIn and building relationships. Not having a profile image is kind of like going to meet a prospect or a customer and having a sheet over your head. It would be a little awkward, and they probably wouldn't walk away from the experience with the image of you that you wanted them to. Next is your headline. Now, your headline is the 120 characters that basically describes what you do. It can highlight impressive accomplishments if they're relevant to what you do, like if you're an author of a book or a speaker. And also use keywords. So I mentioned search before. These keywords are what's going to help people that are searching for the right business context on LinkedIn find you. There's a couple of options for your headline. First, very simply, is use your title. So if your title describes what you do pretty clearly, then use that. So Kurt's a great example. He's Director of Channel Management for Central and Eastern US. It tells you what he does, and it also tells you the region he works in. So from a search perspective, and someone coming to that profile, it's going to work out really well. Another option would be if either your title doesn't really clearly describe what you do, maybe it's a little ambiguous, or if you represent multiple companies, but you maybe do the same thing for the end user, for the customer. If that's the case, then you just want to pick a headline that showcases your specialty. So always think of that target you're trying to reach out to. So just find a simple headline that uses keywords, that's pretty specific, and tells people what you do. Next is your summary. This is often where people get the most nervous because it's a little bit longer and you're not exactly sure what you should post. There's 4 main steps for creating a really effective summary: knowing your target audience, looking at the content you want to include, and the mere creation, and then adding multimedia to add to the story. In social media overall, the biggest mistake that people make is kind of discounting everything they know offline and thinking social media is a totally different world, like Venus over there, and you breathe different air. It's not the way. The more insight from offline experience and actually working with people one-on-one that you can bring to your online, the better. This is a story about how you can help your target audience. So remember that always. Although you're talking about all of your experience and your success and your points of differentiation, the story is about them, not you. You want to decide if it's in first or third person, And I know a lot of people get nervous about this. It's actually one of the most asked questions, and really there's no hard and fast rule. You want to start with a bold statement or a question. People are short on time, so you want to make sure that they know that reading through this and learning more about you is worthwhile. And then you just want to create a strong narrative. Make them want to read it. Make it important to them. Make it a story. Finally, you want to end with a call to action. For a lot of you, this might be to schedule a demo. If you have really great content, it could be to direct them to some more content, hopefully behind a landing page so you can collect their emails. It could be a webinar. It could be simply to reach out and call you or email you, but give them a next act. You finally want to add multimedia. So this is whatever you can bring to the table that's going to further your story. LinkedIn allows you to add videos, documents, slide shares, images. Really think through what is going to make the most sense and further that story. You don't want to just add stuff for the sake of adding it, because that's just going to dilute everything. Make it powerful, make it strategic and pointed. Next is your experience section. So this is the typical resume section of LinkedIn where you list all of your experience. And we have Rogers here as an example. And you see as his current position and then his past positions. And they have recommendations for them, which is a great validation. You also want to make sure when you are adding your company to your position that it connects up with the company page, if you have one, that you have on LinkedIn. So you just write it in the drop-down, and it will drop down, and you click, and you know that you've added it because it has that little image on the side. Next, you want to customize. So everyone gets to have their very own LinkedIn URL. This is very exciting. And all you have to do is you get to click on the little pencil that's underneath your photo. That's going to take you to a customization page. And up at the top is where you pick your own URL. Now, it can be whatever you want. Mine is LK Petrolino because that is my Twitter handle. That's my URL for Facebook and all my other social media networks. And so I made it consistent throughout what I did. And that's the most important thing about what you choose. Just make sure that it's consistent so people can find you anywhere online. Once they find that key, they can just look you up everywhere. You also want to make sure that you have visible your headline, your photo, and your summary to everyone. You can hide the rest of your profile, your experience if you want, but you want to be found. That's why you are on LinkedIn. So make sure that anyone, even people that aren't connected to you yet, can see those things.